Previously on Taverns and Caverns, Path A. The party successfully defeated the forest ogres that defended the fallen star metal, while also saving Reindeer Harrington's life. After their victory, the party took turns swinging at the star metal in hopes of obtaining the ore before others gathered. We succeeded in collecting 10 pieces of the star metal ore and made a group decision to travel east out of the forest, so that we could avoid others that were also there to collect the star metal. After leaving the unconscious Reindeer, Napoleon Feapart decided to make his presence known along with his corgi steed Marengo. He discussed with me that he wanted all of the star metal, and that I had until the evening to relinquish them to him or else I would be punished. I now have to decide what I will do before his next arrival. Episode 19, Efe's Demand, Path A.
Welcome back to another episode of Taverns and Caverns, everyone. This is your Dungeon Master, Haphazard DM. And last time on Taverns and Caverns, Path A, the party had recently defeated the ogres guarding the star metal, and after defeating them, they were able to extract 10 pieces of that star metal ore, which happened to be the only ore that was there. There wasn't any other chunks of ore that they saw scattered in the camp. That was the only chunk of ore, or star metal, I should say, that they were able to gather from. So they took all of it. They ended up heading east out of the forest to try and avoid the crowd standing on the outside or the outskirts on the southern portion of the forest, so that they could avoid any potential miners or adventurers trying to ask them about the star metal or trying to take it from them, possibly. You never know. It's kind of a everyone for themselves attitude out here because the star metal is so precious. But the NPC that was known as Reindeer Harrington, he ended up getting hit unconscious during combat, and they decided to leave him at the camp. And on their way out is when Napoleon and Marengo showed themselves to Isundra, and Napoleon has yet again decided that he wants all of the star metal. It's all or nothing with him. And Isundra seems to be in conflict at this current moment if she's going to give him any of the star metal or not. But she has until nighttime, more so midnight, to decide where Napoleon will return to collect what is due. And for those that are just now listening in on season 3, again, Napoleon is a fae. He rides his trusted corgi steed, Marengo, and he is Isundra's patron for her being a warlock. He is who gives her the powers through the pact that they created or made. But we'll start with the session with the party still in the forest, because you still have some potential traps the ogres have set up that you'll have to avoid to try and get out of the forest, because they have set traps up all around the encampment, which you're not too far off from. And we discussed it is, I believe, and this might be inaccurate from the last recording, but it's been over a month. But I want to say Thaddeus has 4 pieces of the star metal ore, Alaric has 2, Damien has 2, and Yatari has 2. Isundra did not extract any of it. That much is clear. She failed every strength check to extract that star metal. So, and I'm pretty sure Yaito doesn't have any either. But as you all are heading eastwards out of the forest, Thaddeus, last we played, you mentioned you were taking lead. And I don't remember, but Thaddeus, you left your horse, or is your horse with you?
Left the horse. Once he gets some time, he's going to just have the horse kind of go back to the his plane of existence.
Okay, so you'll resummon your steed.
Yeah.
All right. And just want to keep you updated that, remember, the way you all traveled to get here was through ox cart, thanks to Barsora, which is why this is the whole reason you're out here, is because Barsora requested you guys to come out here, and she was going to pay you, but she had paid for you all to have an ox cart to travel here. Well, unfortunately, you all left the ox cart on the southern outskirts near all the people outside of the forest. So it's going to be up to you all, or the characters, I should say, if you try to retrieve the ox cart back and use it to travel back to New Tempest. If you don't get the ox cart back, there's potentially going to be some fees for not bringing back the oxen and the cart. but also it's going to take much longer to travel back to the Tempest on foot. That's up to y'all. Thaddeus, as you're leading the way out of the forest, it's the same vibe as it was when you entered from the south end of the forest. Nothing's really different about it, except for the fact that you are now aware that there can potentially be several traps laid out throughout the forest. With you being in charge, as far as in front, go ahead and make me either some investigation checks or perception checks. I'm assuming your character is kind of on the lookout for any traps as you're all trying to escape the forest before the adventurers and the miners outside find out that the ogres are dead.
Yeah, definitely, because he got hit last time.
I think you got hit by a log or something.
Yeah,
All right, so go ahead and make me either one of those skill checks, please, as you're leading the way.
I think he's going to try to really investigate. Or actually, not his do perception. 12.
Thaddeus, you're looking around as best as you can. The canopy up above is fairly thick in the location you're at. It's blotting out some of that sunlight, so it's hard to see a bit down here with the shade. But you don't spot anything out of the ordinary as you're walking along this beaten path in the forest. I'll allow the second person behind Thaddeus to attempt a investigation or perception, whoever that may be. I'll let you guys decide.
My investigation's actually pretty high. I'll try it.
Okay, so Damien's behind. That is an 18. All right, perfect. So with the two of you being in the front, Thaddeus is oblivious to what is about to happen, but Damien, seconds before Thaddeus is about to step on what looks like a trap, you spot this leaves gathered on the ground, and you all encountered a similar trap to this not too long ago, a pitfall trap with spikes. But the way that the ground beneath Thaddeus's foot that he's about to step on looks, it just seems off to you. Do you tell him anything?
Of course. Also, now is he about to walk over it?
He's about to step on it.
Okay, I want to grab him
Okay.
by his whatever, by his shirt, his armor. And
Okay.
Do I roll for that or?
Make me. You know what? When you try to grab him, you try to like pull him back.
Mm-hmm.
Make me an athletics check.
Athletics. Okay. Whoa.
All right. So you rolled a 9, which is under average. But what you're trying to do is nothing like difficult. You're just trying to grab him from him stepping his foot down on the ground. You grab him. You're not able to pull him back, but you're able to grab him to where he pulls his foot back. He doesn't step on the ground before him.
Saved your life.
What do you mean?
No, you're about to step into another trap. Bigfoot.
Oh, I thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. It'd be a lot more trouble to pull you up.
If you look down at where you're about to step, Thaddeus, you notice there's a pile of leaves that seems slightly off place, as if it was man-made or something placed all these leaves here. This doesn't look like a natural formation. And as soon as you look down, you can tell it's most likely a pitfall trap, just like before. And it spreads about 15 feet wide, so you'll have to go around it to avoid it. Or you can, use a weapon or a stick to push the leaves around to uncover the trap if you decide to. But
Thaddeus would just go around.
okay, so everyone's going around the trap. Perfect.
Watch it, folks. Trying to catch us slipping.
Yaito looks over. Oh my goodness, Thaddeus, you almost fell in trap again. Good thing Damien caught you.
Yes, unfortunately, this woodland terrain is not preferred area.
What is the preferred area for paladins such as yourself?
I prefer the stones and the city.
So you are a city man.
Of
Definitely,
course.
definitely not country folk like myself. I grew up on farm. Forest and mountain terrain is my specialty.
Perhaps someone that is more used to this terrain should lead.
I guess
Isundra, this is her neck of the woods.
this is true. Sundar, you are from the woods. You are Outlander, yes?
Also, you ain't got none of the goods on you.
Wow, so I'm expendable.
Oh, we'll save you. Just think of yourself as bait.
Right, Isundra, you are from Woodland, correct? You know the wood terrain.
Yes, but I'm not from these woods.
Oh, but you have understanding of how the environment is. You are wood elf, right? Not not other elf, but you are wood elf.
I'll be right behind you.
What do I have to roll?
So, as you roll, you can either make me another perception or an investigation as you walk about 5 more minutes. Nothing else comes across, but either one of those would be better.
Oh, maybe I do know the woods pretty well.
I was gonna say.
That's a 25. So about another 5-10 minutes go by as you're carefully walking as fast as you can without trying to trying to avoid the traps. A 25 perception as soon as you're leading the way. Your life, your past life in the woods does come in handy. With a 25 perception as you're walking, you do spot another trap not too far ahead, about 20 feet ahead of them or the party. You notice what looks like this thin, brown, viney rope-like structure that's hanging down from the canopy above. Very difficult to see with how it's hanging next to a tree, but on the ground, there's a snare trap. Easy to walk around, but you don't know what happens if you do step in the snare. It could be anything.
Well,
you do spot
obviously
that.
something bad.
Yeah, something bad.
So we want to avoid it.
Boy,
Something bad. Unless you want someone to step in it, I'll let that. You decide.
Oh. Why would I do that?
I don't know.
Steal their star medal and run.
Damn, that'd be fucked up.
I
don't
be
think
a whole new story.
I don't think you'd be welcome to this party anymore.
Sorry, I gotta go.
She had her purpose. Like she has a whole gremlin chasing after her.
Oh, I mean, this is true. She does have a whole gremlin wanting that
she
star
can't
medal.
escape him. He'll just go to wherever she is.
So you come across the snare trap. Fortunately, you were able to spot it. You have made some really good checks because I'm not gonna lie, this trap you needed a 24 to spot.
Damn.
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 You got a
Goodness.
25. Kendall in the background. Goodness. So yeah, you found it. You guys are able to avoid it. And as you continue eastwards, still trekking through the forest, Isundra, about 20 minutes go by. You're very close to the edge or the outskirts of the forest. You can see more of the sun from the outside. You know, the lights at the end of the tunnel. But go ahead and make me another perception or investigation check.
All right.
She's sighing.
I'm stressed.
Stressed.
Oh,
Oh,
out of 10. I'm
all right.
distracted by Napoleon.
Napoleon's gone.
No, I'm distracted by his words.
Oh, yeah. Napoleon too much, or Isundra too much in her head. Who is behind Isundra? I'll allow one extra.
That's me.
All right, Damien, make me one of the two. Perception or investigation. 19. All right. Yeah. Isundra does not spot the next trap after successfully spotting the last one about 20 minutes ago. But Damien, you yet again spot something about 10 feet away from the party towards the direction you're walking. And you also happen to spot another snare-like trap on the ground. You don't know what it's going to do, but you notice something that's not supposed to be there.
Whoa, watch your feet. Oh, man. A lot of traps out here. They really don't want us getting away.
More so entering, really.
That
But
too.
so you're able to spot the third trap, and that is the final trap before the party is able to escape the forest. Once you step out into the sunlight, it is late afternoonish, going towards 6 p.m. or so. You know, the sun's still out, it's not down yet, but you do know that you'll need to camp soon for the night in the next couple of hours. But as you're standing outside the forest on the east outskirts of it, there isn't anyone, no tents, nothing near you. But not too far off in the distance, you still can see some of the encampments that the miners and venturers set up outside on the southern end. But at this point, Yatari is going to state the fact that, so are we going to go back for our ox cart, or are we going to leave it? It's not really, we don't really own it, right? So we have to bring it back? Or are we going to walk back to New Tempest on foot?
How
We
far
do
back is it?
It's not far from you guys. It's probably about 20 minutes. It won't take you very long to walk along the outskirts of the forest now that you're not trying to be careful from all the traps. You can get it pretty quickly, but you have the potential of running into some of those adventurers because it's close to where remember Alaric healed a guy's foot and where all the people were, you left it near there. So there's potential that they'll still have people near it, but you just don't know. Maybe they start entering the forest at this point. But you can still see some of the tents kind of, plopped up off in the distance.
I mean, we can send a few people to get the cart that aren't carrying star metal in the event that people won't smoke.
Damien does bring up a good point.
This is a good idea. Who would like to go and get the ox cart then?
Are we not going
Should-
together?
Should we send only a few of
Oh.
us?
I mean, these boots ain't made for walking, but that's what I can make them do. But I need company. I refuse to walk alone.
Perhaps maybe one other or two accompany Damien in case trouble happens.
Damien pulls out his share of the star metal and hands it to Alaric, who he deems the most trustworthy, other than Isundra. But again, she's got a little gremlin hunting her, so
But I'm honest about it.
facts. Hang on to this, Alaric.
Will do.
Thank you.
Thaddeus will do the same.
Oh, you coming?
Yes.
All right.
Yatari will say, okay, I'll stay behind with Alaric. No offense, Alaric. I mean, you just joined the party, but I'll stay here to make sure you don't run off with it.
Damn.
I have my vows with me. Why would I do such a thing?
Well, I mean, you hear everyday stories of paladins. She looks at Thaddeus, and even clerics that, break their oaths. You never know.
Well,
Yeah.
if it is something that you must do, then I won't bother you with your company. But I do appreciate it all the same.
Hey, I'm being honest about it. Look, we're still getting to know you, and you're new to the party, so don't take offense.
I love
It's
that
just-
she's
I'm just amused,
Come.
that's all.
I love that you become a spokesperson for our party, like you're not a stand-in.
Damn.
This is an internship. Don't get ahead of yourself, young buck.
Yeah. Well, hold on now, Damien. I am the reason we're out here. Remember that. My connections have us out here for Barsora, who's my friend.
Yeah,
We could
dodging
potentially-
traps.
We could
Running from a
potentially
little.
get you star metal weapons. You know how rare that is?
Hmm.
Star metal's
Yeah.
worth a lot. It can make anyone turn a blind eye to their oaths.
Just saying, a lot of people want this stuff. If we can make it all the way back and get our weapons, it'll be worth it.
That's right. Exactly. Which is why I'm standing behind to make sure Alaric doesn't run off with it.
I didn't give it to him because I didn't trust him. Quite the opposite, actually.
Okay. It is okay. I will stay behind as well. And I am going to enjoy a cup of tea.
Nice. Yeah, if anyone runs up on y'all, We need a signal.
I will shoot firebirds into the sky for signal.
I like it. Flashy. All
So,
right.
what about Isundra? Are you going to join them, Isundra? Or are you going to stay with us?
Well, I don't have any star medals, so I guess I could go.
Okay.
Yeah, you're absolutely coming. He grabs you by the arm.
All right, so it's Thaddeus, Damien, and Isundra then that are gonna head back towards the ox cart where the encampment of people are, and then Alaric with the NPCs, Yatari and Yaito stay behind. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. It's about like I said, anywhere from 15 to 20-minute walk from your current destination, particularly much faster than having to go back through the forest because obviously you're now, outside the forest. It's mostly just flat land. And the three of you walking back towards the southern part of the outskirts, go ahead and make me some perception checks. About 10 minutes go by. You're much closer now, so you can see way more of what's
Okay.
happening.
All of us?
Just the three of you that left. Thaddeus with
A
a
9.
9, Damien with a 14, and Isundra with a 17. So one second, I'm gonna get this map.
He's too
Show you
busy
here.
picking leaves and twigs out of his hair. Also, if anyone would notice about his armor, it does not look like it's been dirty at all. Even after going through all that, hitting traps and getting knocked out.
So
Why are you so clean?
does Isundra ask that, or is that Felicia?
That was Felicia, but I don't know. Would we notice that? Would that matter?
You could. I mean, you guys had a rough time in the forest. You hit traps, you got hit by ogres, so it would be fairly obvious that he's still shining clean, speckless. But if your character wants to say something, that's up to you.
Yeah, I just think it's a really high quality armor. I expect it to be able to withstand a hard day, maintain its shine. But
Arcana check?
post battle, it is a little interesting that there's nothing on him.
Yep. So we'll say with a 14 and 17 perception checks, Damien and Isundra, you can see in the distance that most of the people that were camped outside have packed up their things and have left into the forest, or they have just left altogether. But your assumption is they went into the forest because you can still see some people packing and heading into the forest with their belongings. Some of them are pulling their horses into the forest with them. You do spot your ox cart that's just sitting there. No one's really attempted to steal it or anything like that. It's just the two oxen are standing there just chilling. But there are still handfuls of groups of people who still have their tents up that it seems like people are trying to decide if they want to head in or not, but much less populated than it was before. But because you both rolled high perceptions, you also notice Thaddeus' armor is shiny, speckless, ultra clean, as shiny as Mr. Clean's head.
So, how much you pay for your armor, Thaddeus?
What do you mean?
It's a pretty simple question.
Uh,
Or was
I-
it a gift, family heirloom?
I
Just
paid
think it's
enough.
really nice. Yeah, I see. It's like dirt resistant, scratch resistant. You even fell through a pitfall. Didn't even look like anything.
Yes, plate armor of glamour. Make sure I have to stay clean.
Glamour. Go on.
Well, if one wants to be the way of good fortune, one must look of good fortune.
I can relate. He says, like looking down, dusting the dirt off this shit. I mean, this isn't my best look. But you'll see. I serve looks. You haven't seen the real me.
Well, let's just say this was my last big purchase after I was cut off from my family.
Ah. So you're holding on to what once was former glory. Sounds like Eddie are.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say the same thing.
I refuse to let some has-been outdress me.
I am not a has-been. I just have don't have access to my family's wealth, especially given my past, which was deserving.
Are you from House to Sony?
Then they cut your ass off.
Mm.
He stays squeaky clean because his past is so colored.
Yes.
Oh, especially
So you gotta
after
look the part to cover up the fact that you're actually struggling.
I am not
Things ain't. He
struggling.
looks back at Isundra. Things aren't always as they seem. And he turns back to Thaddeus. Look,
I'm not
I ain't.
struggling by
I mean, I had to pay your way to get
I
on a
was gonna
boat, and it was
say.
like 9 gold, bro. Look,
You're struggling to get on a boat.
I'm not here to judge, man. I'm just here to kind of figure out who I'm traveling with and what your story is. And it just seems like there's been a lot of peaks and valleys in the life of Thaddeus.
I need like a 10-second animated clip of everyone boarding the ship and Thaddeus just standing on the dock because he knows he doesn't have the gold.
Flashback, yeah.
Like I said, you keep rolling with us doing these jobs, you'll be rolling in loot. When I first started working these jobs, I was fucking broke. It was either give my wife money or have money for wigs. There wasn't no both. But now, I ain't gotta choose between glamour and being a good dad and husband. It's all here, baby. Follow my lead. And he kind of like
why would
taps
there
his
be a
shoulder.
choice?
What?
Why would they be a choice? Isn't it obvious to be a good, devoted husband and father?
Oh, are you telling me that? Seed spreader? Look, I don't want to hear about morals and values from you. It's
That
not as
was
easy as it sounds traveling around the world. Look, Vanya de Darkmoor, hottie, okay? She hated me. But I do my best to stay faithful.
again that time in my life was a long time ago. I'm still paying for it, and no longer wish to discuss it.
Oh, you don't have to discuss it. I just said it in passing. Look, I have a tendency to just say what's on my mind. Sometimes it gets me in deep shit, but sometimes it makes people think. And they think more deeply into themselves and what they've been doing. And other times it just gets me into fights. But you know what? Welcome to Cat and Co.
Mm. Well, I will give you an answer to how I feel about that welcoming in a bit.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so if we went to your family with some money, could I get some of that glamour armor? Glamour plate, whatever it is?
They really don't specialize in armors, but wigs, perfumes.
I already got a plug for that. What you have on. I just want to know, like, maybe I can get some star metal
I
as a little plate.
Well, I have know some people that works with my family.
Well, yeah, they hear I'm working with you, they might shut me out for good. I just need you to let me know where they're at, you know?
I shall give you the information later.
Sweet. All right, let us continue on.
So you continue towards the ox cart and you eventually get to your ox cart safe and soundly. Once you're much closer to that, you do see that most of the people have scattered. There's some talk in the distance, and you've walked by a couple of people now at this point that kind of just ignored you. But you overhear people mentioning, "Hey, I think they killed the ogres in there. Well, get your asses in there before everyone else gets to the ore before us." So a lot of people have already gone into the forest, but there's still some stragglers behind. But you get to your ox cart, safe and sound. Nothing's wrong with it. You're able to grab onto it. Or as the three of you get onto the cart to head back towards the other three, there is a guy that's walking up towards the group. And he looks like a simple miner. He's got backpack on him and he's got some leather gloves on. He's not wearing any armor or anything fancy like that. You see he's got a pickaxe tied to his belt. He just comes up to the group, or the three of you, and he waves real quick before you guys head out. Oi, fellas! Aren't ye the Ventures that went in there and killed to kill the ogres?
No.
Uh,
We did hear the fighting, though, in the distance.
I believe it was ye. There was a group of ye, but there's only three of you now. What happened?
There's lots of groups. I think you got us confused with someone else.
Let me make a roll.
Who's this guy?
He's just a random guy from the outskirts.
Look at my armor. Does it look like I've been in a battle?
Well, he's looking. I rolled a 16 for his investigation.
And I rolled a 25 on my deception. That was not me.
He looks up at Thaddeus' armor. It is spotless. He just goes, "Oh, yeah, you all looking like you've not seen combat before." And then he looks over at Damien with a deception of 25. You're trying to tell him it wasn't you, and he goes, "Well, I mean, I guess it wasn't ye, but your clothing looks torn and in tatters, like you've seen something. You have some twigs sticking out of you." And he looks at Isundra, and you look like you've gone through some harsh times. Your clothing's a little torn. You have some leaves sticking out of your hair, so you were definitely in the forest. I don't know about you, big one, as he points to Thaddeus, but the two of you, I think, were in there. Well,
yeah, we were in there. We're looking for it, and then we heard tons of fighting. Bit off more than we could chew as three people. We weren't trying to get it caught up in that mess, so we decided to come back to our wagon. What's it to you?
Well, you came out here for a reason, didn't you? Is that to get that star medal, like all of us? I can't imagine you're leaving so quickly after the ogres have been killed.
The forest is disgusting.
Look how many people are in there. We'll never get there in time. We're better off getting in our wagon and maybe camping out on the path. See if we can catch them while they're leaving or something.
I see. You're one of those troubling folks who try to steal from others.
I'm somebody minding my own damn business. You're gonna make me mad, old man.
Whoa, now I ain't old.
You sound old.
Listen, relax. No need for high tensions.
He's coming up questioning me. Hell, I don't owe you no answers. And Damien, he gets in and he kind of starts straddling up like he's gonna get the oxen moving. He's not gonna keep answering these person's questions, especially while the rest of the party is waiting. So he can continue to poke holes in my story. Come on, guys. Let's go back to where it's safe.
He rubs his chin. All right, I believe the two of ye, but the wood elf here, I don't seem to believe. I think you might be lying to me, elf. Let me check your bags.
Sir, no.
We ain't got shit.
Isundra opens her bag. I ain't got shit. Yeah.
But an attitude, you about to get spit on. You better get on before you get spit on.
Kendall's dying in chat, man. Beat his ass. Kendall said beat his ass. He looks up at the three of you. Careful with your tone.
You should be careful.
With our tone. Why are you
Yes.
interrogating us?
Because we're out here in the wilderness and I don't believe you. He looks into your bag because you showed it to him. Well.
I don't even know what's in my bag. I got like a monocle or something.
Right, it's wigs in my shit, makeup.
He's looking through your bag.
It's got like undead troll claws, fangs that we've taken from stuff. A land shark scale bag. Yeah,
Not Felicia going through a character sheet of all the items.
Right.
Magnifying eyeglass. That's all.
Crowbar, chalk.
This bitch like Freerin over here collecting all this random shit.
I collect stuff every time we kill stuff, and I don't do anything with it.
I know, I have a crowbar. You better back up, bitch.
He's rummaging through her bag. He just looks up at you. He just narrows his eyes. You lucky you don't have any of the star metal.
Why don't you go interrogate the people that are close to it, dummy?
Why don't you tell Napoleon that? I have no star medal.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're now wasting my time. He turns around.
Just
You're
like you have
wasting
wasted
ours.
ours.
He's walking away. He just ignores you.
Good.
Hold on. I want to. Never mind. Never mind. I was going to throw a rock at him while he's walking away, but let me stop. Trying
Brian's
to
like, "Wait a
pillage
minute."
and plunder an ass whooping. Kendall in the chat going nuts. All right, let's get back to the others before they start to worry.
Good thing Alaric's not here. I feel like he'd fucking egg it on too. God damn. So the three of you take the ox cart back towards Alaric and the other two without any troubles. Primarily,
Good deception roll.
it was a very good deception roll, and the fact that Thaddeus's armor was squeaky clean made it to where he didn't push much further. So you avoid
Damien
the potential.
The fucking nerve of that guy. Could you believe him? Questioning me and my lies. No one lies like me. If you tell my wife that, I'll kill you both.
You shouldn't share that information with me.
All right. I see the others.
You
He
guys-
narrows his eyes at Thaddeus. I'm
You
watching
eventually
you.
get back to the other three. Yaito waves. Oh, that was quick. No issues then.
A minor annoyance, but
Yeah, if you consider that an issue. We better get back. Tons of people are looking for the medal, and it won't be long before they discover that ain't shit.
Oh, in this case, let us get the hell out of here.
Before we get back, let me pass you back your star medal, so then have split it all correctly.
Sure.
All right, here's yours, Damien, and then Thaddeus, and here's your star pieces.
Bad. I get nothing.
Isundra got nothing.
I'm sorry, Isundra.
All right, let's get this back to Barsura before Napoleon shows up.
If we don't give him anything, he's going to take my power.
So he says. I think he's bluffing.
I don't think
Besides,
he's bluffing.
powers don't make a friend. The heart
I'm useless
does.
without Eldritch Blast.
That may be true, but I love you for who you are. I don't have powers.
we can
I'm going to
maybe have
to
a little bit of
respect.
discussion.
Yeah, you're
This
gonna have to learn how
Napoleon.
to shoot a bow and arrow. You're gonna have to change classes, become a ranger.
But I'm 7 levels in.
7 levels in, bitch. So you all get back on the ox cart and you have this discussion while you're now moving away back eastwards towards New Tempest, taking the same path you had taken before, trying to leave all these other adventurers and miners behind before people think that you have Star Metal on you. But I would like to continue the discussion. So yes, this is a discussion Isundra may have to have with the party. I don't know if I can't remember if she brought up the fact that Napoleon wants all of it to them or just some of it. I can't remember. But this might be something Isundra wants to talk about. I don't know. Or do you keep that to
Well,
yourself?
I think they were there for the conversation, so they heard my one-sided conversation.
Okay.
So they know that I was like, you can't have all of it.
And then I and Thaddeus was able to somewhat see
That's right. Yes,
Yeah.
you were both
Napoleon.
able to basically see him and spot him, but you couldn't necessarily hear him. Only Isundra was. While you're traveling on the ox cart, again, it's late afternoon, going to early evening. Oxen, they're moving at a slow pace. You don't want to overtire them, overexert them, but you're still moving faster than you would have on foot. So I'll let there be any discussions about that if you guys decide to discuss that.
Napoleon wanted all 10 pieces. What if we just give him some?
Let's
believe
make what
that's
we want to
fair.
make first. Time isn't on our side. And we'll make as much as we can before he shows up. And then we'll negotiate to give him what's left.
Yatara goes, whoa, wait. He wants all of our ore?
Yeah, first
greedy
he
little
said he just
motherfucker.
wanted the piece, and now he's changing the whole thing, even though I didn't get any of it, which is bullshit, Ryan. And he
Whoa!
and he doesn't understand that the contract is not the void anymore because I didn't technically pull any of the star medal.
Look, I'm not Napoleon. He's a trickster fae. Look, listen, it's not me.
And I tricked him. That's what happened. He's been tricked back.
You don't trick the leprechaun back. Have you not seen Leprechaun in the Hood?
You gotta trick Loki back. That's how you get out of it.
He ain't Loki. Yatari just goes, well, we can't give him any of it. We need it for Barsora's shop. That's the only reason we came out.
But we have 10 pieces. She doesn't need all 10 pieces.
I mean, that's true. But I don't think he's going to be happy if you only give him one.
But we
But if
don't know
give
how
him
much
all
we need
10
to make what we need to make. I don't want to give him too much, and then we all can't have weapons and upgrades.
Well, Barsora
Perhaps it
said,
is.
depending on the amount we bring back, she could make us a weapon or two, but she needs at least some of it for her shop so she can sell it.
She wasn't out there. You know what? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about her selling it.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
she's not going to sell the ore itself. She's going to make armor and weapons with it.
Yeah, to
Increase
give
the-
to us.
Right.
Not all of it to you. Part of the
Just so she can make something we'll probably buy off of her.
We did
The
all the
party is
work.
only as strong as its weakest member.
The
We
whole
gotta-
reason she sent us out here and paid for us to come out here was to gain some popularity for her shop. But she gave us an incentive by saying she'd make us a weapon or two, and then for the rest of the ore, she'd use to create other stuff for customers.
She paid for us to
We
come out
could
there.
have
Who'd
paid
she
for this
pay?
oxen.
She paid for the ox cart.
Oh.
Well, we
So
could
we
paid for
have
that.
this?
No, we're renting the ox cart.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You know Barsora is a woman of her word. You've dealt with her before.
I cleaned her basement one time. I don't know this bitch. Excuse me. I need a drink. And he just digs in his bag and gets his flask out, realizing that all of these events for the Star Medal are just not shaking out to what he thought. On top of like the Avira stuff still lingering in the back of his mind. He's really on the edge. He wipes his mouth. All right. So let's get to negotiating.
Indeed. I was just thinking the same thing. We should negotiate with the shopkeeper first to see how much we can spare for ourselves, and then afterwards try to figure out how we can help Isundra with her familiar problems, and yeah, make the best out of both problems here.
So how many pieces would it take to upgrade a sword, so to speak? Just one? Because really, that's mainly what I want. I mean, I would like better armor, but beggars can't be choosers and all that, so...
Itari, well, considering the sizes of the chunks that we have, these are decent sizes. I would say, one piece of ore, she's not going to make a weapon based off just the ore itself. She's going to combine it with other materials to make sure it's as sturdy as it can be. So she's not going to need one or two whole chunks to make something. It just depends what you want. If you want a sword, I'm going to assume, something as simple as a long sword might be, one piece of ore.
Okay.
She's going to mix it with other stuff.
I'm willing to donate one of my Star Medal chunks to Napoleon in exchange for my other Star Medal chunk being used to upgrade my rapier. Is there anyone else willing to sacrifice their Star Medal ore so that Napoleon can have a minimum of 2 star ore chunks?
I
I
can also. Well, Thaddeus.
Well, Thaddeus obviously doesn't need new armor because he's got fancy armor.
That's true, motherfucker. And you got good ties. All you gotta do is go back, swallow your pride a little bit, say you're sorry for wherever you guys fell out for, and then get back in the good graces of those that are rich.
It is not as simple as that. I apologized.
You really must have
something-
burned that bridge to a crisp, my guy.
Part of it wasn't my fault. It was my cousin. He decided to join a cult, and I am blamed for it.
Oh, yeah, that is kind of a disgrace on the Faust name.
Agreed.
Yeah, all right. I thought I had an out.
I mean, pretty
To
much
use
my
your star
father and
medal.
my mother are in good graces. It's really my aunt.
Yaito's just sipping on tea while he's listening.
Sipping the tea, getting the tea.
Yep. You know, I do have 2 chunks of ore, I think, myself, so I could offer some of mine.
Always the good guy, Yaito.
And also, I was going to give 2 for the shop just for her to sell.
So we
Hopefully it is enough for Napoleon. I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to punish me in some way, I know it. Might end up like Will. One eye, horns.
Damn.
So, with his original discussion, was it always for 10 star pieces or 10 star medals, or was it just for 1?
No, see, originally he just asked for 1, and then when he found out we have 10, now he wants 10. It's bullshit.
Well, I think if we just give up everything we have except for 1, and by either melding it into a new weapon or selling it to the shopkeeper, we can still give Napoleon what he wants, which is all our star medal, but in essence, we only have 1 piece left to give him.
Or we could just break it into multiple pieces. He don't know.
Break 1 chunk into 10 pieces and be
Like
like,
dog
here you
treats.
go.
That is also a good point. Maybe the shopkeeper could do that for us.
Reminder to Isundra, though, that he is going to revisit at midnight this night. It takes half a day to get back to New Tempest on Ox Cart.
I mean, if we use it all, he won't have any choice but to take what we've got. He's breaching the contract if he gets something and still takes her powers.
Don't know if he'll take my powers, but he's definitely going to punish me in some way.
Yeah, well, he seems like the fact that he could just pop up whenever is a punishment itself. He's really annoying.
It's true. I live in hell.
I know. It's like when my mother-in-law lived within walking distance. She'd just pop up whenever. It was horrible.
So, reminder though, it takes half day to get to New Tempest, so you can either trek through the night to get back to New Tempest, or you can camp to regain your strength, because you all are out of spells for the most part, and a lot of you are like half HP. So you can decide to make camp for the night or continue all the way through, but be exhausted when you get to New Tempest. You'll have a level of exhaustion, and obviously you won't have spells back or HP. But you can take a short rest, I'd say, on the ox cart while it's moving to get some HP back. But regardless, you're not going to make it back in time to New Tempest before Napoleon arrives. So you won't be able to speak with Barsora in time, because Napoleon is going to be back at midnight this night. It's already, going on 6 or so, and it takes half a day to get to New Tempest.
Ryan ruins our plans every time.
Every time.
I said he'd be back at midnight.
Yeah, but we should be able to get back. We got out here before midnight.
Half a day. Yeah, it took you half a day to get here. It's now like 6 o'clock. It take a half a day to get back.
All right, well, I'm taking a short rest for sure.
So you're going to forego the camp and just stay on the cart?
I mean, somebody else can drive while I rest.
Yeah. That's true.
I've also been drinking, so I shouldn't be driving. The oxen are swerving, guys.
So we'll do some fast travel. So is everyone going to try and just trek through the night to get to New Tempest?
Right,
Are
we
you
can
guys
rotate
gonna-
drivers so
or
people
you-
can rest.
Or are you going to camp? Now, if you do the rotation thing, it's only going to be a short rest for everybody.
That's fine. I just don't like being at half HP personally, but never know what Ryan's gonna try to make us fight.
I mean, I'm fine with a short rest all the time, so.
What do I
Thaddeus
roll
and
for a
Alaric,
short rest?
It's just the number of hit die you have. So you have 7 hit die, which is a D8 for a rogue.
Okay.
So you can roll, up to 7. You don't have to roll 7, but you have up to 7 per day with your short rest to use, and then plus your Constitution.
Okay. So I got 16 HP back.
All right. Damien takes a short rest. So it sounds like you're gonna just trek it all the way back on short rests, unless Thaddeus or Alaric have something to say about it.
No.
Roll for HP. Are you taking a short rest too? I don't know what your guys' HP looks like.
I'm trying to figure like for
Mine
some
is
reason.
full.
Yeah, that's for some reason mine is full too. I don't know why.
Your character is 36 out of 66. You updated the HP on your actual character on the map, not your character sheet. That's why.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you're 36 out of 66. Alaric wasn't touched in that fight. I remember that. He was in the back, just like pew pew.
That's what I was confused about. I'm like, I knew I took damage, but I don't know why it wasn't
Isundra's
showing.
at 40 out of 62. Thaddeus
but
is
if we
at
take a
36
short
out of
rest,
66.
I'm full. So
Yeah, I'll take a short rest as well.
All right. Roll your dice for your short rest to see how much HP you get back.
you gotta roll like.
So that's how short rests will work. So before we used to play, I would just do short rest was half your HP or whatever. But technically, when you take a short rest, you have a number of hit dice that your HP is made out of, and you can roll up to the number of hit dice that you have.
Okay, I'll roll another additional 3.
Now you only add your Constitution once though to that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So.
So 6, 7, 17, and
Plus your con, which is 3.
3.
I think, right?
Yeah, 20. Right?
Okay.
No, yeah, 20.
All right, you gain 20 HP back, Thaddeus. And Isundra, you're doing a short rest as well?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's like a full rest for me.
Okay. All right, so you're all Isundra's fully healed. And I think Thaddeus is pretty close to topped out. And Damien, you gained back 16, right? So you're almost full as well. All right, so I guess the party then decides to just trek through the night. You're not gonna stop off the side of the road to camp, so you're just all on the ox cart, kind of just you all take a short rest. It's not the best of rests because obviously you're in this wooden wagon that's hitting bumps in the dirt path constantly, so it's not smooth by any means, but you're still able to get that short rest in. It's like sleeping on an airplane. It's not comfortable, but it's doable. But as you all are taking turns, I'll say, Damien, you're out on your short rest. Who's taking lead of the wagon while Damien is out?
I'll do
Thaddeus. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. So, Alaric, you've taken the reins. You're at the front of the wagon with the reins in your hands. You're just sitting there kind of alone at the front. There's not a lot of space for multiple people at the front, so that's fine. But everyone else is in the cart behind you, kind of just lingering, just sitting there. The sun has fallen. The moon is now shining brightly upon you. You're on this beaten path heading back to the city of New Tempest. Forests all around you. But you can see mostly what's coming if something was to attempt to sneak up on you. But as midnight strikes, Sundra, make me a perception check. An 11. You spot in the middle of the wagon some lights that begin to appear, and all of a sudden, in thin air, just pops in your boy. It is Napoleon Fayapart. And as he pops in, he's sitting down, what looks like on this small wooden stump. It looks like he's filing his nails with something, with a leg crossed over the other as he's sitting on this wooden stump, and he's whistling to himself. Oh! He looks around. Oh, it's that time. It's midnight. Isundra! It's time. He's still filing his nails. Have you made your decision?
Well, you're not going to like it.
What do you mean? I'm not going to like it. I know you have star metal in this wagon, girl, and you're going to give me the star metal or face the consequences. As he keeps filing his nails, he's blowing onto his hand now.
Unfortunately for you, I pulled 0% of the star metal. So it's up to everybody else to give me star metal to give to you. And they've decided to give me some pieces, but they can't give all 10.
Ah, Isundra, my dear, you failed to extract the star metal, but your mission was to come and get the star metal no matter the cost. It isn't if you mind it yourself. It's the fact that you had to bring me the star metal, which you have because it's in the wagon surrounding me. And he points out to Thaddeus, then he points to Damien who's sleeping, then he points to Alaric, and then he points to Itari. All of them have star metal on them. I can sense it. Now,
And
my
you can
dear.
have some of it, but you can't have all of it. I'm sorry.
He looks up at you and he begins to float off of the little stump that he's on as the stump vanishes. His little filing tool vanishes and he floats in the air and he goes upside down as he folds his arms and legs. He looks at you. This was not what I was intending.
Well, what you
have
intended
to give-
originally was one piece.
No, what I
Yes.
intended was star metal. All
And
of
you
it.
will get some.
How much are you trying to give me? Out
I
of the
forget
10?
the amount that everybody said, but it is some of it. I wasn't doing the math.
Some of it is not going to cut it, Isundra. I need all of it. You've known this. We've had this
You will have to
discussion.
talk to them. Sorry.
Sorry.
Mm. He slowly turns
Sounds like
again.
it's a Napoleon problem now.
He turns in the air again, and his whimsical, smiling face, his expression begins to turn into an aggravated one. You see some veins popping out of his forehead,
Ugh.
and he looks very upset as his wings are now flapping aggressively. Isundra, I am usually a happy fae, but you're starting to piss me off. You're about to find out what happens when you cross your patron. Now you're gonna give me all the star metal or face the consequences tonight.
Do you want some of it or not?
I want all of it, girl.
Then either it's some of it or none of it.
Then you will be facing the consequences.
I will face the consequences, but you can have some of it.
He sits down next to Thaddeus. Thaddeus, I don't know if you're using your
He can
blind sense
see
or
him,
not,
right?
but he sits down next to Thaddeus and he looks up at Thaddeus. This motherfucker has 2. He looks over at Alaric. I'm sorry, this motherfucker has 4. That fucker has 2. You have none, Isundra. He looks over at Itari. That
Correct.
girl over there has 2 as well. And then the one over there, Damien, who's knocked out, has 2. I want all of theirs. Now, I'm going to give you one last chance, Isundra. You're going to give me all of it now, or make a decision to not give it to me and face the consequences. What is your decision?
Does Thaddeus see him?
If Thaddeus chooses to use his blind sense, yes.
Or did Alaric have to use something to see him?
Alaric had to cast a spell, I believe. Sense evil or fey or whatever it was.
That's the same thing that Thaddeus did. To sense him last time.
Was that Thaddeus that did that? I thought Thaddeus had blind fighting or whatever it was. Well, either way,
Thaddeus is BRB.
either way, Isundra's talking out loud, so you guys are aware that even if you don't see him, that Napoleon is in the wagon.
But I'm at the front of the carriage, right? So I can't really.
I mean, you're not far from Isundra. You can hear them talking. You don't. The wagon doesn't have like a canopy over top of it. It's basically out in the open, so you can see her talking, hear her talking.
She didn't even pay for a good ox cart.
No, it's a simple ox
You
cart.
act like she did us a favor. We could have paid for this ox cart.
She
Yeah.
did do you a favor.
We
She
got
gave
money.
you the location of the star medal, and she rented an ox cart for you.
Yeah, and now I'm in this conundrum.
Wow. You would have been in this conundrum even if she asked you to or not. Because remember, y'all saw the star metal fall from the sky in like episode 2 or whatever it was. So even if Barsor didn't ask you to do this, Napoleon still would be. Which is why he don't give a fuck about Barsor. He wants all the star metal.
And
So.
I'm willing to give him some.
I mean, I don't give a fuck about Barsora.
Thaddeus, are you here?
But
Are
you want a
back?
weapon.
Thaddeus, are you trying to see what's going on here, or are you paying attention?
I'm sorry, I had the whole thing on mute.
Oh, Jesus. So, as I mentioned,
So yeah, Thaddeus had woke up after Isundra would talk, and he would see.
well, he's sitting right next to you, Thaddeus. Alaric?
Thaddeus just going to give Napoleon, just give him the finger, because you don't even know, he don't know what he's saying. He just doesn't like him.
He looks up at Thaddeus. Rude, gentlemen, such as a paladin. Does Alaric say anything or join in on this?
Yes, I decide to say if the Fae feels like he is if he is owed all these star metal, I do think that it is also fair that he reveals himself to the whole party so then we can have a conversation with him. Otherwise, I think that with him demanding all 10 star metal is out of the question until he can speak to all of us.
He looks up at Isundra. Oh, is this what you want them to see, Isundra? You want them to see me, Napoleon Bonaparte, make myself known to these nobodies? Is this what you want? I will show myself to your friends. But just know this, girl, if you do not give me all the star metal, you will be at a disadvantage. You do not piss off your patron that gives you the powers. It's the same as hurting or biting the hand that feeds you. You do know this. You're smart enough. But I will reveal myself to your friends because they seem to want to see Napoleon Bonaparte. He snaps his fingers and everyone can see him now. And everyone can hear him.
Isundra smacks Damien to wake him up.
The fuck?
Because I don't think she's seen him yet.
What?
You all see this tiny Fae who's well, he's not super tiny, but he's basically big enough to ride a corgi as his steed. He's got these fairy-like wings about him. He's got this very militaristic shirt and pants on with these boots. He's got this hat, this black and white hat on his head as he's floating around with brown hair and mischievous look to his face. Hello, everyone. I am Napoleon Bonaparte at your service. And as I was told that you all are trying to strike a bargain with me, the deal was that I take all the star metal from Isundra or she be punished. It sounds like I am not going home with my star metal. So you are all going to be a part of the reason of what I'm going to do to her if she decides not to. She has one final time to answer me. Yes or no? Are you going to give me all the star metal or not?
That was quite an introduction, good sir. For one thing, you mentioned that you want all the star metal and demanded it from all of us, yet you only decided to say it to Isundra instead of all of us, and we're just now hearing of this. Why is that?
Because obviously, you stupid cleric that follows the damn goddess of the moon, I am her patron, not yours. So you can butt out of our business. Her mission was to get me the star metal regardless of anything that happened. Despite your blacksmith friend sending you out here, I would have sent her anyways to get the star metal for me. So it doesn't matter what you think. Isundra, at this point, I am going to ignore your friends, and you're going to answer me all the star metal or not, and we'll see what happens.
Well, our star metal, anything that I helped acquire is my business. And Damien's kind of sitting up, scratching his head and rubbing his eyes. And you interrupted my nap. Time is it?
It's midnight, my dear.
The fuck? All right. Here's what's gonna happen. Because if you want Isundra to continue to be useful to you in whatever way, obviously you stick to her like glue. She needs her powers. Yeah? And she needs to be able to protect herself. And Star Metal is going to allow us to be more of a threat in combat. I really do think that
What
you should
protects
reconsider.
Isundra? What protects Isundra is the power that I've bestowed upon her, and being her patron, I can
Well,
take certain things back. So, as we've mentioned upon the
what'd you
original
give
pact
Isundra
that we
her
created,
powers for in the first place? I'm
because
curious.
oh, you want to know?
Yeah, I
Well,
do.
I stumbled upon a crying wood elf in the forest after her parents were devoured by the Spirylith. She wanted powers to defeat the ones that killed her parents. If it wasn't for me, she would be dead. So Asundra owes me her life, and I am the reason she'll be getting the vengeance for her parents because of the powers I've bestowed upon her.
She's not guaranteed vengeance because she has powers, and it sounds like you have put her in debt because you had pity on her. Doesn't really seem like something that's her own fault. That was a very poor roll. So I'm just gonna let the people that have influence and power in the situation speak, because this thing seems to have its mind made up.
Nope.
And so do I. I am keeping at least one chunk of star metal. Here, I'll actually give you one of mine. And Damien kind of extends his hand out with a piece in it to Napoleon. I ain't so bad.
Napoleon grabs the one piece of star metal.
Oh, now he's fine to take a piece of it.
This is one. There's 9 more. He sits back down. Alrighty, Sundra. I've wasted my time. Yes or no, right now. I need an answer from you.
It is not my decision to make.
Then the answer has been spoken for you. Your friends have answered for you then. The decision is you do not give me all the star metal.
Wait. Oh, so you still have yet to answer. Why do you need all the star metal from us
It is none
instead
of your
just one?
business.
It is our business, since you decided to take it upon yourself to take all the star metal from us. This is now a group conversation, is it not?
It is not, because the star metal is mine. If it's not mine, then I am mad.
Thaddeus will give Napoleon 2 pieces of his star metal.
Look at the lovely paladin here with the spotless armor giving me 2 pieces of his star metal. I have 3 in my hands now. Well, in as far as your little persuasion goes there, Mr. Cleric, you did not roll high enough. I am not going to tell you why I need the star metal. I don't need it. I want it. There's a difference. It sounds like you need it. I want it. But I don't care what you need. I care about what I want. And the deal was, the sooner
You don't sound like a very good patron to me.
Who says?
But the original deal wasn't 10 pieces of star metal.
All right, listen. He floats up into the air, folds his arms as he's floating into the air with his wings flapping. The decision has been made, Isundra. Your friends have spoken for you. I thought you were grown enough to make your own decisions, Isundra, but apparently you have not grown enough. So, he drops the 3 pieces of star metal that you gave him. I do not care about the 3 pieces of lousy star metal. I want all of it. But because you have made the decision for Isundra here, the choice has been made. So now you must face the consequences.
Wait.
Speak
And
up.
he's going to speak to Napoleon in Fey.
Oh,
Look.
you know Fey.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I've known you given her powers for vengeance, and this is the reason why I gave you 2 pieces. But if I could do a favor for you, perhaps you cannot punish this lady.
Man, y'all over there speaking in different languages, insinuating.
I can also understand Faye, so I can hear it.
Yaito has nothing to say for me. Yaito just sipping his tea watching. He doesn't know what to say. He doesn't have any of the ore, so. But
if you still lose your powers after I gave one of my pieces up, I'm gonna be pissed.
Right, well, he dropped it.
he
so.
dropped all 3. He looks at Thaddeus. He goes, The paladin can speak Fey. You're not as dumb as I originally thought. Well, you trying to make a pact with me too, dear paladin? Is your god of fortune not enough? Or this not giving you the powers that you require? Are you looking to
I'm
become a warlock?
no, but I am willing to do a favor for the sake of vengeance.
Oh,
Since it's
what
Isundra,
is your path an oath of vengeance, Mr. Paladin?
to help those that were robbed of their fortune.
Oh, so you're going to help me, who is now being robbed of my fortune? The only
Well,
reason you're out here is because I told Isundra about the star metal. So you're robbing me of my good fortune, sir.
I am trying to avenge. I would help avenge someone that didn't have the fortune of growing up with their parents.
Okay, get on with it. What are you trying to say?
Trying to say that I can owe you a favor of your choosing besides the star metal.
Oh, so you take one for the team then? Are you so buddy with Isundra now, like you're officially part of the Cat and Co? You're no Nomu already, but you're willing to take a bullet for her, yes? I should say a bolt, not a bullet. Bullets don't exist in this world of reverie. Perhaps in other worlds in space and time, but not this one.
I'm willing to take a bullet for those for the sake of their vengeance.
Oh.
Yes.
He puts his hands together. Dear friend, you're such a great friend. Good. That one over there is really staring at me. He points at Yatari, and Tari doesn't know what to say. She's just watching. She's never seen a Fae in real life before, so this is the first for her. Well, I'll take you upon that deal. You owe me a favor, and I won't punish Isundra as bad as I was going to. Fair?
I mean, it's as bad or
As
not at
bad.
all.
Oh, as bad. I was really going to punish her, but if you owe me a favor, I won't punish her nearly as bad as I was going to. It was going to be very bad, very, very bad. But you have pushed down how terrible I was going to be.
What
If
will
you
it
want to
take?
make this favor, he puts his hand out. You owe me a favor, right? And I won't punish her as bad as I was going to.
What will it take for you not to punish her at all?
All the star metal. So do we have a deal or not?
No pressure, no diamonds. All right, you're gonna have to take a light lashing, Isundra. We gotta level up as a party if
Well,
we're gonna,
he
do that thing.
he puts out his hand to make that deal.
It's a dangerous game to play, Rodimus.
Mhm.
Well, for his oath of vengeance, he will do that.
Before you shake upon this hand, understand that I will call upon you whenever I want for one favor of any kind. It doesn't matter what the favor is, but I
You
will
made
come
that
to you.
but you made that deal with Thaddeus, not all of us.
Of course, it's with Thaddeus, not with him. Oh, you speak Fey as well, do you, Mr. Cleric? Oh, would you like to make a deal too? Of
I'm
course you
not so
wouldn't.
keen to liking your kind, so I probably should not.
Of course. Such as the follower of Lunaris, damned wretched woman, the moon. I ignore you then. All right, Mr. Paladin, we shake upon it. I will call upon you when the time is right for a favor. Just from you, not from the friends here, but just from you. Despite what your god, Erdis, thinks, you will be doing me a favor in the future. In order for that to happen, I will not punish Isundra as much as I was going to. So a deal is a deal. Handshake it is. So you shake his hand?
Yeah, upon my oath.
Upon your
Okay.
oath, Mr. Paladin. They shake hands, and when you shake Napoleon's hand, he has this mischievous grin on his face. Everybody could see it. Everyone can see it. And you feel not pain, but you feel something pull you towards him as he shakes your hand. He is this much smaller guy. He's more like shaking like part of your hand, but you just feel this force that pulls you towards him, Fetish. You now know and you understand you have made a pact with this Fae that you cannot back out of without facing negative consequences. He
Mhm.
smiles at you. He
Well,
claps.
I'll be damned.
Is a friend of you, Isundra. He's now talking in common. The paladin is now a friend of Isundra. He has taken the place of one of the original Katenko. I think you can now trust him, guys. Oh, look at this. We're all friends in a merry way. And he starts jiggling his butt. We made friends, Isundra. I'm not going to punish you as bad as I was going to. You could have Thaddeus to thank for that. So, it looks like you're not giving me all the star metal, which is fine. I'm happy with this outcome, I guess. We've made friends and I've made a new pact. Oh, this is delightful. Well, sucks for you, Isundra, because with all the star metal, I was going to give you something really, really good to help you defend and your friends and to help you avenge your parents from the Sporilus. That's
Why didn't you just say that?
I can't say everything. Where's the fun in that? Well, Isundra, you're no longer going to get what's called the Ring of Shooting Stars, unfortunately, my dear. Instead, you're going to be punished. Well, you can take the star metal to your blacksmith friend Barsora. She's going to craft you a weapon or two. I can see it now. But it's not going to be as nice as the Ring of Shooting Stars, now is it? It came from space. There was just a ring to it. The Ring of Shooting Stars. The ring that would help Isundra fight off Sporilus. Oh, poor girl. The Ceravoid is still out there.
Well, it's not like that's the only star metal in the world.
Hmm.
You never know.
No,
We might
it's
find some more.
the star metal is rare. But we shall see about that. Perhaps in a daytime or two, another chunk of it will come crashing down into the land of Tirasta. I doubt it. It's been many, many years since star metal has dropped. But a deal is a deal. All right,
You
Isundra.
really are such an irksome fae, aren't you?
I
The
take
way how
pride
you
in that.
deal with-
Thank you.
Especially for you trying to work with your patron and you demand such weird things is quite puzzling to me. I
It could be worse. You can make a pact with a fiend, such as a devil or a demon. It's actually better to make pacts with a fae, such as myself. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not just a fae. I'm an arch-fae. I'm not just any normal fae. I'm very powerful. Some demons and devils will cower before my presence, something you haven't learned yet. But that's because I have not shown you my bad side. But Isundra, okay, step up now. He raises his hand, and Isundra, you feel yourself being forced to stand. It's time. Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to do anything that bad to you. But because you have not agreed upon my request, you have foregone your opportunity for the Ring of Shooting Stars, which would have made you much more powerful, by the way. But, and he snaps a finger, I will be taking some of your powers from you. Those invocations that you so trustfully use every day. All 4 of them. Kaput. You can no longer access your invocations, my dear. You still have access to your warlock spells and whatnot, but your invocations will be foregone until I have decided that I have forgiven you. So,
That's gonna fuck up my character sheet.
no more
You
invocations.
little fuck.
Do you know what an invocation is?
No,
Then why do you care?
because it sounds important. Fuck off.
No,
And he
actually,
he lunges for the little thing.
he is actually projecting himself, so you go right through his illusion.
Mm.
So hot-tempered. Well, Isundra, I'm sorry to say this. You'll get your invocations back when I think you have deserved them to come back. You have fun with your star metal, or hopefully Barsora is able to make you something as good as the Ring of Shooting Stars. I doubt it, because she can't create such a thing as I. It is good to know all of you. It's good to meet you. Mr. Paladin, I will be returning for that favor in the future. I can't wait to see the expression on your face once I come back. You gonna
Yeah,
be
as long
helping
as
me?
you only appear to him, I don't have a desire to see you again.
Oh, of course. I have bestowed upon all of your eyes and to allow you to witness the glory that is I, Napoleon Fairpart. And now, with that, I am now gone. And he vanishes as quickly as he appeared.
Ugh. Just what we need. Something else unexpected that helps us in no way whatsoever. Well,
Thaddeus is going in his bag and he's going to grab his flask and start drinking.
sorry you don't get your space ring, whatever it is, but hey, we had a
I
plan
googled
all
it,
along.
and I don't think it's that great.
Damn.
Damn! Felicia, fourth wall in here. She Googled it. How you know it wasn't something I just made up?
I'm weak as fuck.
I don't know. I came up with something though.
It was a very rare magical item that Isundra did not get.
Yeah, but this gave me fairy fire and ball lightning
Fairy fire, ball lightning, yes.
and shooting stars.
And shooting stars. Yes.
I'd rather have my invocations.
But you could have
Because
had
that
your invocations and the ring.
Gets rid of my charisma mod, which really sucks.
So with Asundra losing her invocations, she loses 4, guys. At 7th level, she has 4. So she has 4 invocations. One's called Voice of Chainmaster, which allows her to
I can't see my pseudo dragon anymore.
correct.
Oh.
Well, I can see it, but I can't communicate with it.
Telepathically.
Yeah.
Correct. She loses Agonizing Blast, which adds a charisma modifier to her Eldritch Blast attacks.
Oh, and it lets her push him back.
She loses Fiendish Vigor, which allows her to gain.
Never use.
Yeah, she allowed her to gain temporary HP, and she loses Repelling Blast, which is the pushback every time she hits.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Her Eldritch Blasts are no longer as strong as they used to be.
Well, maybe with Thaddeus
Yeah, he couldn't take my
his...
spell slots. I never use those.
Well, Thaddeus made him happy. He was what he was originally going to do. He was just going to make it to where you couldn't cast your Warlock magic at all. Anything spell-wise that was under the Warlock, you would have lost.
So I would have lost everything.
Yes.
Everything's under that, right?
Yes.
I would have had to respec.
You would have had your
I would have been my short bow and my hand axe.
Yup,
right?
that would have been it.
Level 1.
I think it's bullshit, Ryan. I think you should have taken some of it.
We're gonna be fighting after the session's over about this.
I still think we got him in a contract problem. That
Oh, you found a loophole for sure.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not him.
She's gonna roll
Ryan
over in the middle of the
decided-
night. 2 a.m.
He's definitely not a nice fae. Like he just wanted for someone to submit to his whatever he wanted, and yeah, none of the party was trying to stand for that. So I definitely feel like that's a dick move by Napoleon. So
What do you mean you thought he should have taken everything? You want me to make you useless?
no, he shouldn't. He wanted everything, and
He was.
he was just he wanted us to submit to his demands.
Yes. he
When
did.
at first it was a star piece. Like he didn't know how many was there, and then all of a sudden he was like, "Oh, there's multiple. Okay, I want to take it all."
Yeah, he got greedy.
But what if, let's say, like we only got one out of the whole ore? Was he gonna
I
force us to
know.
go back and try and steal it from the plunder from the rest of the people that was in the woods?
What did
Nope,
it-
he would have took one.
Did it take 10 pieces to make that thing?
No.
I'm weak. Greedy little motherfucker.
he is fucking a trickster. He just does whatever the fuck he wants.
And he got tricked back. That's the whole point.
Well, he got mad. I don't
That's
know.
crazy.
Well, he'll get us.
I do know Ryan had a story plan and he decided that's the way it was going. That's what I know.
Wow, rude.
He wasn't having us get out of that contract.
Hell no. You think what's his name? Raphael was letting you get out of that contract, walking out of his house in Baldur's Gate 3 without something? Hell no.
Well,
I went in his house. I snuck
I-
back in and destroyed it after I signed it.
I would rather have what happened to Will. Give me some horns or something. Don't take my invocation.
What? I wasn't done saying what was gonna happen.
Yes, you were.
No.
No,
That
now you're
was
changing it.
no. You not only lose your invocations, something was gonna happen later.
Mm-hmm.
I
Now it's
look.
gonna happen later.
You don't trust me? Look at this. I have it in my notes right here. You want to see? You want to see? What? Let me copy and paste this. You all can read what I have here. 1 second. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Copy. She will remove her ability. Blah, 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 blah. She'll still have warlock spells and cantrips. All right, here we go. Copying, pasting. Y'all motherfuckers don't believe me. Oh, I can't paste in the Google or that's right, roll 20. I could post it in Zoom. I'm
Is it like
posted in
too
Zoom.
long or something to post in
It's
Roll
like
20?
no, it's like an image. Here,
No.
I'll just copy the text.
You could just read it to us.
All right, fine. No, because you still won't believe me if I read it to you guys. You still won't believe me. I
That's
said
correct.
choice number 2.
I won't believe that you didn't just
It-
type it up either.
No. Choice number 2. If Isundra decides to deny giving Napoleon the star metal, this will cause her to lose all of her warlock invocations for an unknown period of time. She'll still have her warlock spells and cantrips, but her invocations won't be of any use. This will last indefinitely until Napoleon believes enough time has gone by to make up for her betrayal. That, or if Isundra is able to regain a good standing with him via another deal or something else. Later on, she will also find herself gaining physical Fey-like attributes that'll have her standing out more so than normal. She'll grow twisted horns that wrap towards the back of her head, as well as her feet becoming hoof-like.
Oh,
That's not Faye.
Yeah, it is.
It's like
That is very Fey-like. Think of like satyrs and shit. They have like hoof feet.
oh, I thought you meant like an actual Faye.
so what? She could just take Linnell to the movies on back.
So Sundra's going to be growing some horns on her head that spiral backwards towards the back of her head, and then her feet are going to turn into hooves. She's going to be like staking
Am I gonna
off
get
Wellington.
faster?
I have a disguise kit. We can try to help you look not like that, but
Think of a satyr, guys. A satyr. You know what a
I
satyr
mean,
looks like?
you could still be kind of
Yeah.
cute. Linnell might be into that, but then it's like she have to worry about the bestiality rumors, and then if that's like even like racist for them to be like talking that shit, it's layered, man.
Here, let me send. Does Roll20 accept this? I don't know. I just copy and pasted a link. Did it not go through?
It did not.
Son of a bitch.
I mean, we already have a lot going on, but leave it
Oh,
to Ryan to
there we
why
go.
that picture. I'm weak.
I'm gonna turn into Phil from Hercules.
Hercules. Your feet are gonna turn to that, and you're gonna get them horns like he has.
Oh, you
I'm
should
not gonna
get
get those hairy arms though, right?
No.
you should get melee attack damage if you kick people.
Am I gonna get faster? I should be fast.
Yeah, absolutely, you should. Be.
We'll find out. It hasn't happened yet.
You should also be able to jump high.
What's this musical instrument that he's playing? What's
I
this
have
called?
no clue what that's called.
I thought that was a pan flute.
It might be a
flute.
pan flute.
I think
I
that's
think you're right.
I'm gonna have to take up the pan flute.
Jesus. Well, that hasn't
Well, I'm
happened
definitely
yet.
not doing him any favors if he's gonna turn me into that.
You don't want to be Phil from Hercules?
No.
Why not? Phil's
I
the
mean,
man.
Phil was awesome, but
What do you got against Phil?
What's with everyone making fucking deals, man?
that's a dangerous deal to make, Rodimus, because what if he's like, take vengeance on Isundra?
Oof. Then we'll have to jump Rod
Yup.
or
Hey,
Thaddeus.
I don't think he
You-
would. I don't think he would do that. But
You
I
agree
don't
to-
know.
Cannot give Ryan ideas.
You agree to any favor. You done fucked up. You should have been very specific about the type of favors.
You're right.
We like to
thought
believe
about
he's
that.
not evil, but we'll see.
Nah, this is the evil Fae. Like I feel like a Lark would definitely see him as a foe if under normal circumstances. So
No, about this, the sporulith are very common now, as far as everyone in Reverie knows about the sporulith.
Yes. So for our listeners,
Okay.
right now, the current campaign in our Patreon, for our listeners that haven't listened to any of the Patreon stuff, we are running a one-shot campaign that goes over the backstory of how the Sporylith appear in the land of Tirister, aka, well, Reverie in general, but more so Tirister, the continent, before Ashai or any of those other places. But yes, that happens in the past, many years ago. So it's a prequel of how the Spiralith came out. So yes, I wouldn't say they're common knowledge, but they're fairly, I mean, they're well known amongst scholars, amongst nations, and like people higher up. Commoners more so probably don't run into Spiralith nearly as often as you would think. They don't know about the Spiralith that much, but the Spiralith are known. Someone who is well studied, like Yatari, would definitely know what the Spiralith are.
Okay, so military school would teach something like that as
Oh
far as like the
yes,
paladins. Okay,
oh yes. They're not as common as like land sharks and whatnot, but
yeah,
they're there. The
okay,
world knows about them.
okay,
The island of Sanguine's Isle Stockades is where they originated from. And current day, Sanguine Isle Stockades is a no-go zone. But yes, to answer your question, Rod, yes,
okay.
people know about them.
Well, I believe part of my oath is to do whatever it takes to fight the greater evils. So the Spiralith are greater evil, and you need your vengeance, Isundra. So
I didn't understand what deal you guys made, so
to do whatever he asked at a later time.
And
yeah, I don't know if it's going to be about the Spiralus. You might have fucked up.
It doesn't matter. It's to get your vengeance. One
And
must do whatever it takes.
are you all on the map right now with your characters? Do y'all see the map?
Mm-hmm.
All you?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Kendall and Rod necessarily have seen this before, so not so much for them. But I came up with some sample images. I want to be getting actual artwork of the Spiralith in the future. That's a little bit more along the lines of what I envision. But this is what I could come up with so far, and this is what I used in the podcast to kind of describe what a Spiralith, or I guess there are different phases of a Spiralith's life cycle. They go through metamorphosis. They're very alien-like creatures that come from an unknown place off of Reverie. But there are metamorphosis phases that they go through. One's the coiled piercer that turns into a mind reaver that eventually turns into a cerevoid. And very rarely does a cerevoid turn into something even bigger. But what I'm about to show you are images of a cerevoid, which is one of these is what killed Isundra's parents right here.
Mm-mm. You looking advanced.
Mm-mm.
And he's smiling and shit? No way.
Spiralus are always smiling.
Yeah, I
They
don't
know
like
no
that.
other expression but the grin.
Oof, okay.
My parents didn't do anything. They don't deserve that.
I
No,
don't think anybody deserves this to
no.
exist in its space.
Hmm. Yep.
And
So,
we have to help you. Sorry,
and,
Mom.
and again, this
I
is
can't let you fight this alone.
this is the Taverns and Caverns version of Mind Flare. Since again, for our listeners, I'm working on a campaign setting book, hopefully to send out there. So I have replaced the Mind Flares with what's called the Spiralith. So, but what you're seeing is a Cerevoid. This is on par with a Mind Flare in this universe. So they still have tentacles on their heads, but way more alien-like looking than the Mind Flare. So, all right, that's what I want to show you guys. But anyways, the party, Yatari is looking a little confused and dumbfounded of what just happened, and she just doesn't know what to say. And Yaito sips his tea and he looks over at Thaddeus. Thaddeus, what you just done was brave of you. Are you sure you are ready for that fate to come back and request anything of you, my friend?
In the name of vengeance, you gotta do what is necessary.
You are very tied to the name of vengeance. Why
I
is
know.
this?
Don't get ahead of yourself. We'll have to take your ass down like an old dog. We'll do it.
I like to see you try.
I mean, I would hate for it to come to that, but I'm just letting you know.
I agree.
Should your vengeance bleed into what we're trying to do and cause mayhem and disruption, we will handle you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's not try to cause any unintended conflict that doesn't need to happen right now.
I mean,
I'm just
I-
setting the precedent, you know? Vengeance can have many faces.
I can respect that.
Why are you so tied to this vengeance? You mentioned this oath of vengeance. Why do you make an oath to vengeance? You know, revenge can drive someone to very dark times.
Well, giving my past, when I went through military school, I was told that redemption would be best suited for me, but let's just say redemption is not suited for my personality. And it's not necessarily my vengeance, but to help those again that are unable to help themselves or that need help to get their vengeance.
Oh. Well, just like Damien said, as long as your vengeance does not give us any conflicts, yes?
I will try not to cause any conflicts, but it is understand if it comes into conflict that you must do what you must. There would be no hard feelings.
I wouldn't care if there were, bro.
I wouldn't expect anything less from you, Damien.
I'm glad that you're getting to know me. That's heartwarming. And Sundra, I know, things may be a little different on the battlefield, but I promise, puts his hand on her shoulder, I will protect you. You're like my little sister.
I just hope those weapons are worth it.
Yeah, right? Or I will rob Basura's shop for everything she's worth. I do
Isundra
not have
looks at-
time for this.
Isundra looks at Yutari. I hope Basara is happy with what she gets.
Yutara looks at what? Puts her hands up. She has nothing to do with what your little Fae friend made us do, okay? Like, listen, she was just trying to help us out, trying to help herself out and us at the same time. Let's not get mad at the wrong people. That's what Napoleon would want.
How do you know what Napoleon would want?
He's obviously a trickster. He's a Fae of some kind.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
See, even you know. I've read about Faes in the universities that a lot of them can be tricksters. You can never get your way with them. They always find a way around things.
Oh,
He's probably laughing. He's probably laughing if we argue with each other. That's probably what he wants.
Yeah, your parents died and you got adopted by a master manipulator. They build you up to tear you down. Well, should we head out? Oh, wait. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. When is Barcera's open?
Well, by the time we get to the New Tempest, it's probably going to be I'd say close to 5 in the morning. She probably opens up shop, I'd say 9, 9 to 10.
Damn, she opens up late.
Right, this bitch sleeping in. Are we out here risking our lives? That's fine. We could stop and get breakfast before.
Yeah. So.
All right. I'm plenty rested. I don't mind driving.
At least he left all the star metal. He didn't take any of them.
Better.
The least he could do.
No, I think he
So
walked away.
Barcera can make a profit later. Great. I have no invocations. I'm about to have fucking goat legs.
You don't know that yet.
Yeah, you just put this picture
I
in
hope
the chat
Basara makes a fucking bank.
You don't have to
stop
work
pointing
at her
your,
smithy behind the counter, so no
stop
one can
pointing your
Right.
anger at Prasara. She has nothing to do with this.
Nope, this is what
Barbasora,
you started.
whatever.
We can be as angry as we want about her not being strong at level 7.
Well, Thaddeus will basically raise up his flask and just say, I have breakfast already here. And he's just going to drink.
Gonna need to drink after that.
Yep. You better write
Really
that down on your
dirty.
character sheet. You made
Yeah.
a pact or
Yeah,
a
I
deal
did.
with Napoleon Fayapart. It can be at any time, any place, for anything.
Anything vengeance related. I feel like he made that clear.
We shall see.
I didn't really say
No.
vengeance per
Rod, you
se.
gotta
I
stick
just
to
did
your
it.
guns.
I said in the name of vengeance is the reason why I'm doing that. For
Yeah,
Isundra's vengeance was the reason why I was doing this.
You can't let Ryan forget that.
I'm writing it down in my character sheet right now.
Because Ryan will use some bullshit. He'll be like, this is the phase vengeance.
How do you know he's going to ask for something about vengeance? He might just ask you to do something simple or something stupid.
Because I'm saying Rod made it about vengeance.
Well, he said the reason why he was doing it for Isundra's vengeance is the only reason why.
Yes. So he could ask you for anything. It doesn't have to be tied to someone's vengeance.
No, I think it has to be tied to my vengeance.
All I know is Kendall thinks
All I know
Faye's a
is
piece of shit.
yeah, this Faye's getting out of some bullshit with these contracts, and I think you need to stick to the contract a little harder.
I know, that's what you need to do,
It's some
Yutari.
Rumpelstiltskin shit.
Go to law school.
Yeah.
Why do I have to go to law school?
To help
Because
us
you're
the
already
fuck
in
out.
there.
I am not in law school. I am
You're in school.
for magic.
Switch majors.
Well, I'm too far in now. I can't switch majors. If I want to
Tricky
graduate,
contracts are ruining these parties. I'm telling you.
you know who probably knows contracts more than anyone, though? She looks at Damien. You know who I'm talking about.
No.
Oh.
Darkmoor.
Oh. I mean, yeah, but I hope you're not asking what I think you're.
Oh no,
Well,
I'm not. I'm not.
yeah. I mean, yeah, don't imply that we ever need that motherfucker for help. Although you're not wrong, but it takes a piece of trash to know one.
Speaking of Darkmoor, let's change the topics a bit. Didn't you say something about someone needing your help regarding her? While we're out here in the middle of the nowhere, we can talk about it without people listening.
Talk about what? How she's trying to get us caught up in some more bullshit after we just got out of it? We're not even a full party.
I don't think she's trying to get us caught up in anything. Someone else is, right? You talked to the professor, right? He was looking for help.
All roads lead back to her.
Wait,
He's up under her thumb just like we were.
again, am a little familiar with the Dark Ones. They were a little weird, but they weren't evil by any means.
Then you
Yeah,
aren't
don't-
very familiar with them.
Don't talk about what you don't know.
Used to, well,
The sister was crazy. She was running experiments in the basement of her brewery. Her brother, weird, playing things called taverns, caverns, trying to base lives off of dice rolls, running with his robe open. Then he had Archibald. I don't even want to tell you the horrors we saw there.
how old were the Darkmoors? The
Old enough to know better.
The children were the two were human.
Yeah.
They're both like late 20s.
Okay.
Yaito rubs his chin. Speaking of which, the sister, wasn't she slaughtering Faye for Arcane Delights Brewery?
That too. There was a pixie. We bonded. I miss her very much. Sometimes I cry about her.
Yes, Thaddeus. The Darkmoors are not what you think they were. Very evil people.
They got what they deserved, but I do wish I never signed that contract. I mean, the world might have been damned and may have ceased to exist without us. I have very mixed feelings about it.
Should we tell Alaric and Thaddeus of this? What we have done? What we have seen?
not.
I mean, we haven't told him, but I mean, at this point, I've dropped enough context clues. I mean, it's just bubbling over like a boiling pot of water. I gotta tell someone. And by
Perhaps
now, I think they built up our trust. I mean, to be fair, Thaddeus made a whole pact just to stop you from getting punished.
this is true. This is true. Alaric, how much do you know about the Darkmoors? Do you know much? You can make a
I'm sorry.
history. You can make a history check if you decide you want to try, and I can tell you if you've heard of them or not.
Okay.
17. All right. So Kendall being brand new player to the season 3. I mean, you obviously weren't around for season 1, but the Darkmoors was a family name that were from the nation of Dorwyn, very popular. The head of the family was a man by the name of Archibald de Darkmoor. He was a self-made merchant that made himself rich, that to the point that he became a noble. So his whole thing was to search for ancient relics, treasures from the past to find magic or whatever for himself. He sold ancient relics to become rich, and he is very, very well known. He was human. He had 3 kids. 2 of the kids were human. 1 was half elf. So his first child was Avirus de Darkmoor, which we all know from season 1. She was a half elf, and she was raised to become a treasure hunter alongside of Archibald. Well, at the time, her mother vanished. Who knows what happened to her? But then he had 2 more children with a human, and they were named Vanya de Darkmoor and Badger de Darkmoor. Badger was your stereotypical party goer. He used dad's money to become wealthy himself, and he was a bit of a oddball guy, but he did things. He wasn't necessarily like out there trying to scheme evil, kill people and stuff, but he was, well, actually, I take that back. He kind of was killing people. He made people play a game called Taverns and Caverns, which was basically this world's version of D&D, and based off the outcomes of how a player rolled in the game, if they died in the game, he killed them in real life. So I guess he was an evil piece of shit. Then you have Vanya de Darkmoor, who was the sister. She was the CEO and creator of a brewing company known as Arcane Delights Brewery. And much of her alcohol was well known throughout the continent because she was actually killing Fae and using who knows what, anything magical about them to increase the tastes of her brewery or her drinks. She was killed by season 1's cast, as well as the brother, because that was part of the deal that they made with the first sibling of Virus de Darkmoor. She was out to kill her siblings and her father because she knew that her father was dealing with some really dark shit. He attempted to basically become a demon lord by making a pact with 3 of the heptatic evils. There's 7 evil gods of Tyrister. He made a pact with 3 of them in order to become a demon lord. He would have to basically sell off the nation that he was from and basically have it destroyed in order to become a demon lord. He was very close to sacrificing everybody in the nation of Dorwyn to become the demon lord, but season 1's cast was able to stop him thanks to Avirus de Darkmoor. She is also pretty evil herself. She is considered a lawful evil character. She will do whatever she thinks is necessary for law and for society to stay intact. While she might have good intentions, she will do anything evil to go through with them. Your character, having a history of 17, I just talked a lot. Your character knows of all the Darkmoors with a history 17. Your character knows that both Vanya and Badger were killed in some way, shape, or form. They're no longer here. And your character also knows that Archibald was killed as well in his mansion. They found some oddities that happened in his mansion that they didn't release to the public, but you do know that Archibald was dealing with some questionable things after his death. And the fact that Avirus de Darkmoor has taken the name of the Darkmoor family, she is now running all the businesses, and she owns everything that the Darkmoor family now once did. So you know that much. But as far as what she's done with these characters, Isundra and Damon, you don't know anything about that. So quick history lesson for you. That's as much as you know. Sorry, I talked a lot, but there's a lot that happened in season 1.
So yes, yeah, though I do know of the Darkmoor. I do I recall hearing about the deaths and the rest of the stories and lore that have been passed around so far.
And I am sure that the stories you have heard of the Darkmoors may not be as precise as what actually happened. We have seen many things with the Darkmoor family. You can ask Damien or Isundra yourself. But the Darkmoors are not to be trifled with. Well, the last Darkmoor, that is. So this man, this professor that was seeking our aid, Tobias, he is, I guess, beholden to this Aviris de Darkmoor, and she is making him do things that could get him arrested, perhaps even killed, definitely fired from the universities. It seems like, from what I have gathered, he wishes to no longer be tied to this, but he does not know how to escape the grasp of Aviris. And that is what we were discussing with Damien and Isundra, if perhaps we try to help our friend. But in doing so, we may accidentally bring on the wrath of Aviris the Darkmoor again, which we do not want to do.
I see.
She'll do anything to get someone else's hands dirty as opposed to her own. She likes to be the puppet master. And I've cut my strings. I'm done with her.
Yes. So this is a
But
predicament that we have.
we got out as a team. Tobias is in this all by himself, and I do feel for him. But this is why this is something the group's going to have to vote on. But you know my answer. It's a big, fat, resounding hell no.
And we can continue to discuss as we go. Perhaps we make a decision once we're back in New Tempest, once we've all rested, all our minds are clear and free of what has happened the last day or two. We can discuss.
Yes, perhaps we should rest.
Let us not make choices while we are tired and frustrated with Mr. Fay.
Can't say it's a bad idea.
Well, Alaric, do you need some rest? Would you like me to take over the reins of the oxen?
Yes, thank you, Yaito. I'll pass the reins to you.
Yaito steps up front of the wagon. He takes over for Alaric, so Alaric can have his short rest. And like I said, you will be reaching New Tempest at about 5 a.m. It's about 1 now. So a couple more hours before you reach New Tempest. Do remember, though, that you are going to only be short rested, so you won't have all your spells and stuff back, just your HP. Well, Asundra will have her spells back because she gets spells back on short rests. But other than that, we will fast travel and say you make your way back towards New Tempest. And with that, we will end this episode of Taverns and Caverns. You guys avoided some fights with the miners.
I already knew what they was on.
I wanted to check some heads if I was over there. No joke.
There was a group of them that if you had Star Metal on you, they would have attempted to take advantage of the fact that you just got out of combat with ogres to try and overpower you for the Star Metal.
Good thing we gave it away before we left.
Yep. Good thing you rolled a 25 on deception, and the good thing
The crazy part is
armor
that
was all clean.
Y'all was just letting him rummage in the back in the sack all by himself. Like,
he didn't even really say he was doing that. He just kind of said it in passing, like he's going through. Like,
Well, Isundra did
Like
offer
how
the
big, and then
bag.
the other thing is like how big is this miner to be thinking that he can do this? Like he has to be fucking huge. Like he could have been an ogre himself if he's thinking that he has the will to do that in front of a paladin and Damien. Like what the fuck?
That Thaddeus wasn't going to let him do it, but since Isundra already offered, he just let it happen. But
He had some balls, some kahunas. I'll say that.
Yeah, that was wild. That I need to see that. So it's just like
Alaric's here for the tea. He wants to see this.
Right.
Take it back. I want the ring. Give him the star medal.
Damn. Why, are you reading up on the ring now?
I just want my invocations back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
do feel bad now
fucked.
because now I feel like in a way my character should have been like more selfless and like, you know what, I'm willing to sacrifice my star medals for Sundar despite like me not understanding and this guy just being a dick for no reason.
He still wouldn't have taken it. I think he
no,
didn't
he
want
just
it at
wanted
all.
all of them.
Even though it didn't take it all to make it.
Don't look at me, all right?
Oh, DM is definitely part of this.
Y'all seeing the
the
evil
the
DM in me
character
coming out.
it's just like when you watch a movie, like you paint the villain, you are the you are the villain essentially.
Like the
Yep.
actor. That's why
Same
nobody
thing.
liked the actor that played Joffrey. He couldn't fucking walk out on the streets without people hating him.
Yeah, I
Game
mean
of Thrones.
that just shows your skills are phenomenal. So
That's why
Don't worry.
everyone from my first campaign said, "Oh, that's not Ryan anymore once he sits at the table. That's no longer Ryan. Ryan's left." But hey, Napoleon's a piece of shit. He's supposed to be. So he'll do good things for the party, but he'll do bad things too.
Well, he could have just said he was going to give me something. I would have
No,
taken it out of their bags.
He's being
But
a trickster.
where's the fun in saying what's gonna happen?
He's being like Cheshire Cat, you know, just
Yeah.
like but worse. Like if Cheshire
If-
Cat actually
If
like
we didn't have Yatari with us, I probably could have just been like, let's just give it to him and we'll tell Basora that we
Oh yeah, that is
didn't
right.
get anything.
Yeah.
But we had Yatari with us and I feel like she was going to tell on us. Tattletale.
Damn.
We probably would have had like someone probably would have had to turncoat and probably like kill her or like you know
Damn, you trying to kill Yatari?
no, I was saying worst case.
Wow.
No, I'm trying to think of the other word or abandon her, like leave her at the road and just like
Damn.
Don't forget your alignment now, Kendall.
No, I'm not saying I would do it. I'm just
Oh.
saying like if someone wanted to do it. Like
Yeah, I feel like she
the-
was sent with us to like keep an eye on us. I don't know. She's really on Basora's side.
You guys get her wrong. She is on Cat and Co's team. She is a teammate, but Barsora is also her friend. All right.
she's like her back is against the wall. Like we get it. She's under fearful times. It's gonna make her do things that is more dire than usual. So or make her that is uncharacteristic of her. Because like earlier when she was demanding like untrusting of me with the metal, and then also I'm pretty sure in earlier episodes she's sounded pretty frantic and demanding of us trying to get the star medal. So
Yeah, she really was ride or die for Basora there.
Right.
They're buddies.
and I think she was probably going to like attack one of us something because of like something that we said. I can't remember.
Well, shit, she could fuck around and die because Basora ain't here to help you if we jump that ass. Don't do it.
Yatari has shown signs of like aggression. Remember, we first met her when they remember the students that tried to jump her or whatever. She took a
Mhm.
knife to one of them.
And I was like, damn, we just met you. Well, I just met you, and you already showing.
She's got a side to her that's pretty
Yeah, she's not so colorful. So,
but she'll still take one for the team. She's gone through the shit that they all gone through.
she
I don't know,
doesn't like
she's
when the
about to be
risk.
off the team.
Damn. That's fucked up. She's been with Kanko since like episode 7 or whatever it was.
I know, she needs to go to school though, because she's getting in some dangerous territory fighting with us. She needs to
Yeah,
take
let
her
her
ass
let her
back to
finish school
college.
first.
Oh, so now you want her to go away. At first, it was like, Ryan, you got to keep all the NPCs with us. We ain't going away with all the NPCs. And now you want to get rid of the NPCs?
I told her at the start of season 3, I was like, you got to go back to college. We lost Elroy. Like, you could die. This is not cool.
But there's one NPC that has not made a return that you all love yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where's he at?
I don't know. Where is he?
He bounced.
He'll be back. Rogar, yeah.
He's out there disguised somewhere in a different store.
Fuck if he's not Rosar.
Shit.
With a
Fucking
mustache.
imposter. Yep.
You guys are
Yeah, he's
quick.
gonna go to the tea shop and it's gonna be Rogar but dressed up as someone else.
Oh
He's
my
gonna have a little
God.
mustache.
You guys are quick to turn on your allies. That's all I gotta say.
We're not turning on them.
I didn't turn on her. I made sure she got that star medal, didn't I? At the cost of my
No,
own
but
shit.
you also turned on Rogar when he told you that wasn't him. You're like, sure. Y'all think he's got second hidden life.
Because he was lying.
See, you think he was lying? He was out mailing stuff to his family. You thought he was out here running a shop.
Well, I'm just saying. It sure seemed like it.
No, we just said it's a possibility. We ain't seen them in the same spot.
Oh my goodness. And that's where we'll end this episode of Taverns and Caverns. Thank you everyone for listening to another exciting episode of Taverns and Caverns. This is your Dungeon Master Haphazard DM. You can find me on Twitter at Haphazard DM.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's Bri. I play Damien/Desiree, and you can find me on Twitter at Blaze_NBK.
Hi, I'm Felicia and I play Isundra. You can find me anywhere on the internet at Dagger Tribal.
Hi, I'm Rod or Rodimus, playing Thaddeus. You can find me on Blue Sky at Rodimus83 or Twitter or X at Rodimus7901.
Hey, my name is Kendall, and I play Alaric Silverwind, and you can find me on Twitter at Air-Clubkin.
All right, thank you guys. Those are our players for Taverns and Caverns Season 3. And again, don't forget to check out the Taverns and Caverns Patreon. On our Patreon, you'll find exclusive monthly episodes that are strictly exclusive to our Patreon, as well as some additional content that you won't want to miss. So thanks again, everyone. Until next time on Taverns and Caverns.